The story starts off with the three great powers meeting at the peace conference as normal. The original plan was just to make peace, but there was a certain condition that Rias and her Parage was unaware of. Serzex finally breaks the silence and says, "I'm glad all of the three powers were able to make it to the meeting today. Let's go ahead and start discussing the details of why we are here." Azazel was finally the first one to talk, and the first thing he says is, "Shut up. All we need to do is just make peace already. Let's cut the bullcrap and just make peace. That's what we're here for, isn't it?" Everyone looked around in surprise. The three great powers looked at each other and all nodded in agreement. Then finally, Michael decided to speak up and say some words. "Before we get anything else done, there's something that I wish to discuss with everybody, which is a certain term and condition before we all sit down and make peace with one another." "Well, Michael, would you be so kind to let us know what this condition is that's holding us back from peace?" Azazel nods at Michael before Michael decides to speak again, reassuring him of what he is about to say. "Me and the fallen angel governor have came to the conclusion that Issei is too much of a problem. He is the wielder of the white and red dragon emperors after all. We all know what happened the last time a dragon was involved with the three great factions. They almost ran us into extinction." Issei finally decides to speak up. "What? So what? That has nothing to do with me. What Dragon Albion did in the past should not be held against me. This makes absolutely no sense." Rias's mood changes and she starts to get extremely concerned. "Lord Michael, with all due respect, what exactly is your point? Issei would never do anything to harm any of you guys. What are you trying to say?" "Rias, Issei, I understand your concern, but let's give them a chance. Lord Michael, tell us what exactly you are trying to get at. We would all like to know." Azazel decides to interrupt them. "Let me handle this, Michael. What we are trying to say is that to achieve peace, we should get rid of this dragon in specific. He causes too much of a problem. He is a dragon after all, and he could cause us all harm in the future if his power is left unhinged. I suggest we banish him to the dimensional gap." Everyone looks around in surprise at hearing the news that was just told to them. Rias and her Parage were in utter shock from what they just heard. He was thinking in his head that he must have misheard them. Why would he suffer for what Dragon Albion did in the past? There is no way they're actually considering this, right? Rias breaks the silence. This is absurd! Issei has nothing to do with what the dragons did in the past. He's not battle-lusted like the dragons. He's different. And how exactly do you know that for sure? Do you think that we will just trust the word of you? You are his master after all. Issei intervenes. "Sir, with all due respects, this doesn't make any sense. I have no intention of destroying the peace between the three great powers. I am not battle-lusted. I only fight to protect the ones I love and my president." "Enough! I have been thinking about your condition, and it seems that to achieve peace with all the great powers, we must send Issei to the dimensional gap." "Brother! What? You have to reconsider. Issei has done nothing wrong." Serzex, what are you saying? Are you saying that you agree with them? How could you do this to me? I thought we were closer than that." "Issei, I am sorry. I do not wish to do this to you, but to achieve peace with all the great powers, I must sacrifice you. This is for the greater good, Issei. I hope you can understand." "Brother, what are you saying? He will die if you send him there. Brother, I will not let you do this." Rias starts to form a ball of destruction at Serzex, but Serzex quickly makes a teleportation circle to teleport Rias away along with their Parage so they don't even get a chance to defend Issei. Michael turns to Issei and uses his powers to trap him in a spell that puts him into a cage and disables his powers for the time being. Serzex, Azazel, and Michael all turn to Issei and form a portal under him that sends him to the dimensional gap. Issei starts yelling before he leaves. "Serzex Lucifer! You will regret this day, I promise you that!" They all look as Issei slowly disappears into the circle. Then the three leaders look at each other and nod their heads. After this, they all sign the peace treaty and thought about what they have done. They all came to the conclusion that this was the best thing to do to make sure that this dragon never harmed the three great powers again. Now, we're back with Issei. Issei appears in the dimensional gap. Issei is still in the cage that the leaders put him in. He is not sure how long this cage will last, but as soon as it does, he has the possibility of dying from suffocation. Drake finally sees a way to get through to his partner. "Partner, for some reason me and Albion were unable to contact you while you were in the meeting, but we heard everything. We will talk about it later. Right now, we have to find a way to be able to survive in the dimensional gap. Otherwise, you will suffocate and die." Albion also decides to speak up. "Issei, We need to come up with a plan right now. I agree with Drake. Otherwise, you will die. Drake, Albion, I have no idea what to do. I am trapped inside this damned cage, but it's the only thing that saved me from At this very moment, the cage dispels and Issei starts immediately suffocating and choking to death. Shit. Is this really the way I'm gonna die? Being betrayed by the people I trusted and sent to this damn place? No! I refuse this outcome! I will get revenge no matter what it takes! I swear! At this very moment, Issei is almost about to die from suffocation, but a certain mysterious figure appears in Issei's mindscape. Did I hear that correctly, boy? Did you say anything? Issei, without thinking, immediately replies and says, Yes! Yes! I mean anything! The mysterious figure then replies and says, Let's make a deal. I will lend you my power and you will help me with a certain task. Agree? Yes, I will complete any task you ask of me, only if you help me get my revenge. Wait, who even are you? And how am I still alive? And where is Dragon Albion? I am the ancient dragon god of annihilation, Bahamut. I am the most powerful dragon in existence. You are alive right now because I want you to be alive. You also have no contact with your dragons right now because you are in my domain. Now let's move on. I have 2 conditions. 1. Eliminate all of the gods and show no mercy to anyone in your path. 2nd, I want you to rebuild the dragon faction. If you refuse, you die anyway. So what's your decision, devil? I agree to these terms and conditions. I will destroy my enemies and rebuild the dragon faction from scratch. Now that's what I wanted to hear. Alright, when I lend you my power, you will become full dragon and be able to breathe in the dimensional gap without any problems. You will fall into a coma for 2 weeks for your body to become fully dragon. Are you prepared for this? I am. Let's do this. Anything for my revenge. At this very moment, Issei became the wielder of Bahamut, the Dragon of Annihilation, as well as being the White and Red Dragon Emperor. In 2 weeks, Issei will wake up and be full dragon and no longer be a pawn piece of Rias Grimory due to this. Unfortunately, Rias will think Issei is dead because of this. 2 weeks have passed since Issei's transformation and he finally wakes up. What is this power I feel? It's truly massive! I could take on anyone with this strength, even God himself! Hello, my partner. Welcome back to the real world. But first things first, I need you to go into your balance breaker form for me, says Bahamut. Issei, without a second thought, immediately says the words. Welt's Dragon, Annihilation Balance Breaker! My god, this power, it's insane! The 3 great powers will suffer for what they did to me. I'm coming for you, Sir Zex. I will ruin the whole entire underworld. We start off the second part of the story, where Issei is trapped in the dimensional gap and now has the power of the most powerful dragon in existence, but it seems that there is a huge problem at hand. Bahamut starts talking. Issei, we have to hold off on your revenge for now. You are not powerful enough to escape the dimensional gap yet. I recommend we start training to hone your newfound abilities and skills. This training will be extremely intense because your body has to get used to all this power. You are the first being in existence to wield 3 dragons, much less the dragon god of annihilation. I completely understand, Bahamut. I also want to train some time before I go to obliterate Sir Zex and his precious underworld, but I have a question first. Go ahead then, my new partner. Go ahead and ask me as many questions as you want. Could you unlock Dragon Albion for me so I can hear them again? I would be very interested to know what they think about this whole entire situation. I apologize. I forgot to connect their links back to your consciousness. I will reconnect them right now. Drake finally finds a way to reconnect with his partner after getting interrupted for the second time. It seems that you have yet acquired another dragon, Issei. A dragon whose very existence threatens reality itself. Albion finally decides to speak up. Bahamut, the dragon god of annihilation. He is the one who defeated me and Drake with ease. He is also the one who is responsible for plummeting Orphis into the ground. Holy shit, Bahamut, you're that powerful? I have never heard Drake or Albion admit defeat so fast in my life. Bahamut, is there anything else you want to let me know before we start this intense training of yours? Enough about me, Issei. I will tell you about myself in due time. Just know that I am the biggest threat to the multiverse, and of course that includes the three great Suddenly Bahamut gets cut off, and a huge dragon appears, interrupting them in their whole entire conversation. Holy shit! What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? That's Great Red, the Great Red Dragon of Domination. How did he even find me? Guys, what are we gonna do? I was afraid this might happen. Issei, when you went into your balance breaker form, that caused a huge surge of power. As we all know, power attracts power. The Great Red Dragon must have sensed your power and came to make sure that you know that this is his territory. Issei, if you want to live, I suggest you immediately go into your balance breaker form. Otherwise, you will die just being in this dragon's presence. You must be joking, Drake. Scratch fighting. I suggest we leave before we get killed. You are not powerful enough to take on this opponent yet, says Albion. Great Red suddenly interrupts him and says, You dare flaunt your power in my domain! This is my territory! Great Red, the dragon of all dragons, I do not wish to fight. I was just testing my new power out, that's all. If you will excuse me, I'll be on my way. You think you can come into my domain, flaunt your power, and not fight me? Who do you think you are, boy? I won't let you run away. You're misunderstanding, Great Red. I was just testing my power, nothing else. I do not wish to fight. Listen to me carefully, boy. It's either you fight me, or I kill you. I will only say this once. Do not make me repeat this again. You know what? I've had enough of everybody's bullshit. I'm tired of talking at this point. Fine, I'll fight you. But don't be surprised when I fucking kill you. Great Red pauses for a moment, and he senses a change in the boy. He sees his newfound determination. He wonders what caused such a drastic change in the boy. But then his inner dragon comes out, and he stops caring. Kill me? Overconfident are we? I doubt you'll even land one blow on someone as powerful as me. Drake/Albion start talking at the same exact time in sync. Issei, if you want to land even one blow on this legendary dragon, use the Forbidden Balance Breaker technique. If there was any time to use that special power, it's now! Issei immediately says, Welch Dragon, Forbidden Balance Breaker! This new form has red and white, which surprises the legendary dragon. This new form is forbidden because it should be impossible to combine the two dragons' powers together, but Issei found a way to do it in his intense training from years ago. What is this? You are the red and white dragon emperor? How interesting. Hopefully this will make the fight more entertaining. Issei immediately replies and says, Are you going to keep talking, or are we actually ever going to fight? You are going to regret talking to me that way, boy! Great Red charges at Issei with blinding speeds. Issei couldn't react fast enough and got punched directly in the gut, and the blow was so powerful that Issei started to cough up blood. Issei then flew at Great Red, charging at him with full speed, but Great Red transported and punched Issei directly in the same spot, making him cough up more blood. Great Red then used a portal to hit Issei in the gut again from multiple sides, and Issei had no time to react at all. He also could not figure out where Great Red was punching him from, because he was getting hit from every single side possible, but could not understand where it was coming from. Issei was just sitting there coughing up blood, but while he was coughing up blood, he was trying to figure out a counter to whatever Great Red was doing to him. Ha! I told you, you aren't even able to hit me. You're weak no matter how many dragons you have, kid. Shut up! Issei starts talking to himself in his head. Shit, not even the forbidden form is enough? Looks like I'm going to have to use that form. Issei looks at his arm, and he turns back into his base form. Hey, Bahamut, I'm going to need to use that transformation. Listen, Issei, this transformation will take a toll on your body. It is very powerful. This form will upgrade every single one of your attributes. It has a 50 times multiplier. But for right now, you will only be able to use it for 1 minute because your power isn't up to par yet. If that's what it takes to take this bastard down, then I'm ready for it. Bahamut, let's do this! Welch Dragon, Annihilation Balance Breaker! Great Red speaks up. What is this form? A black dragon? The only black dragon I know has been lost for millions of years. Who are you? Issei does not even respond back. He immediately attacks Great Red without hesitation and hits him multiple times at blinding speeds that even Great Red was unable to see. Issei proceeds to beat the living shit out of Great Red for at least 30 seconds. So that's how this is, huh? Who would have known that you wield 3 dragons and one of them is Bahamut, the dragon god of annihilation? Issei was already extremely tired from using this form and didn't even bother responding. His fatigue has reached its max, as he tried to do his next move but failed even a single dragon shot. Since you were actually able to hit me, maybe I should actually use my power. I was only using 50% to begin with. Maybe I should even go into my balance breaker form. Issei was extremely surprised. This was his base form? Oh shit, I only have 10 more seconds in my balance breaker, what am I gonna do? Issei tries to fire one last dragon shot at Great Red, but before he could even do so, he reverts immediately back into his base form and coughing up blood. Huh, so it looks like you are out of power. I could easily just kill you right now, but I have a proposition for you. How would you like to becoming my training partner for the next 2 years? I get some company and you will get massively stronger. I am also interested to know what your motives are and exactly how you ended up here. Issei was coughing. Sounds like I really don't have a choice. But I accept. I want to get as strong as possible to kill every single one of them. I will not stop until I see their bodies laying on the floor lifeless. Bahamut decides to interrupt them. It'll be nice to talk to you again, Great Red. We can catch up in this 1-year gap. I'm sure you are interested to know how I actually became host and how I'm even still alive. Yes, I am 100% interested in all the above, but for now, let's let your host recover. The story continues, with Issei and Great Red having a training time skip for about 2 years. In this amount of time, Issei has learned several new abilities, and has unlocked the Juggernaut Drive form. He also can now face Great Red at 100% power. Issei can also stay in the Annihilation Balance Breaker for 10 hours without losing any power. Great Red himself has also acquired a power-up while training with Issei. In fact, although he would never tell Issei, he thinks that Issei could now possibly be more stronger than him. Listen to me, Great Red. It has been insane training with you for the past few years. I learned a lot, and I truly do thank you for that. I can't believe I was able to master the Forbidden Balance Breaker and the Annihilation form in just 2 years. Great Red replies, Issei, I have never fought somebody with as much motivation as you. You truly are dedicated to getting your revenge. Your will is amazing and a caliber of its own. I'm glad I was able to help. For what they did to you, Issei, they deserve nothing less than death itself. Oh, trust me, I will make them suffer. But before that, Drake, Albion, Bahamut, I'm certain I have enough power to go to the Underworld now. What are your thoughts? Bahamut's the first dragon to speak up. I would have to agree. I am 100% sure that you could take on any god, even the mighty Zeus himself. You are the best host I have ever had. Issei, with that being said, I want you to make sure that they know pain. Issei, what they did to you is unforgivable. Show them a true dragon's strength, partner. Albion finally decides to speak up. Over the years, Issei, I thought you were just a pervert, but you have exceeded my expectations. Your will to become the strongest is truly impressive. You are ready, Issei. This is what I believe. Thanks, guys. I couldn't have done it without you. I will use this strength now to not only rebuild the dragon faction but become the strongest being in the universe. But first comes the 3 great powers. I will make them suffer. That's what I like to hear, partner. Issei, you can easily transport out of here at any time. Whenever you feel like it, transport to the Underworld and make an example out of that piece of shit Lucifer. Don't worry, I will, Bahamut. But first, Great Red, spending time with you has not only been knowledgeable, but fun. I will miss our talks, old friend. This is goodbye for now, but we will meet again, I promise you that. Great Red replies, Issei, if you ever need me, just send a transportation circle in the dimensional gap and I will come flying through. Good luck on your revenge, Issei. Whatever happens to you, just know that I will always be on your side. Thank you, Great Red. Well, it's time for me to go. First stop, the Underworld. Issei opens a transportation circle and finally goes through. Unknown to Issei, the three great powers were hosting a party because the Norse god Odin had been set to make peace with the three great powers today. Also, they needed to discuss the problem about the Chaos Brigade. Issei came through the transportation circle and arrived right outside the Gremory domain. Oh, so they have a barrier set up. Wait a minute, why do I sense all three great powers in one place? Also, there seems to be an unfamiliar power. I don't know who that is, but he's just as strong as they are. Matter. This is perfect. I can make an example out of Sir Zex. I'm glad they all gathered up to meet their deaths today. This makes things a lot easier. Issei then infiltrates the barrier by using one of his new techniques, Dragon Cloak, which allows him to be invisible for a certain amount of time. Scene break, now with Sir Zex, and he's giving his speech, Welcome the Norse god Odin. Sir Zex starts by saying, Everyone, welcome the Norse god Odin to our peace conference. Hazel immediately interrupts. Ha! This is amusing. The sly old bastard actually came to try to make peace. I only came for the pretty girls, Azazel. Now come on. Lord Odin, would you please take a seat? We need to discuss the details of making peace. Don't worry, Michael. No need. I will sign the peace contract with you all. I think it's about time we all stop killing each other anyway. Also, I want to see more women from all over the world, not just Asgard. That's amazing, Lord Odin. I am glad you came to this conclusion. You can sign this shit here to make it official, of course. Before Odin could even take one step towards the paper, a transportation circle with an unknown symbol appeared, and out came none other than Issei Hyodo. Hello, gods. I am the one who has come to kill you all. Who are you and what do you want? You will pay for interrupting the conference that makes peace. Azazel intervenes. Listen, kid, we don't know who you are or where you came from, but you might want to leave before we actually decide to do something and use our powers. Oh, so you don't remember who I am. I suppose I look a little different. Let me re-jog your memory. I am the one who you banished to the dimensional gap. All of them look around in shock and surprise and immediately start to get worried. No, it can't be. Issei Hyodo? How did you survive the dimensional gap? Oh, wouldn't you like to know? It's none of your concern anyway, because you're about to be killed. This is hilarious. You think that you could beat Sir Zex? You're still as weak as the last time we saw you. You think because you're a dragon you'd be able to beat us? Think again, you foolish boy. Issei doesn't even reply to Azazel, and just stares at them, but then his face turns dark. Issei then charges at Sir Zex at blinding speeds not even the gods can see, and punches Sir Zex right in the gut. Sir Zex, while coughing up blood, says, What? How did you even hit me? I couldn't even see you. That's impossible. Everyone didn't understand what happened. As far as they were concerned, Sir Zex just started coughing up blood out of nowhere. Michael, knowing how dire the situation was, told Sir Zex to get serious because he could tell this kid is clearly on another level than he was before. You dare mock me after you cast me away into the dimensional gap where I was left to die. I will make you suffer. I wish I didn't have to do this, Issei, but I will not let you start another war. I will take matters into my own hands and eliminate you personally, and this time you won't be able to come back alive. You think you can kill me? That's funny. How I break you physically and then mentally. Issei starts to say these subtle words. Forbidden balance breaker. Issei then flies towards Lucifer at blinding speeds and punches him square in the face and sends him flying into the wall. Sir Zex could barely stand the punch. It was so powerful it definitely broke a couple of his ribs. Before Sir Zex could even stand up again, Issei was right in front of him, looking down at him in disgust. I told you, I'm going to break you physically first. Issei then gives him a cold stare, before getting into his fighting stance. Sir Zex gets up, and finally decides to go full power right off the gate, not holding anything back because he knows if he did, he would die. Be prepared to be erased, Issei Hyodo. Sir Zex forms a huge ball of destruction and fires it at Issei, but Issei just stands there, ready to take the shot. Ball of destruction hits Issei, and Sir Zex is confident that this erased Issei from existence, because his power can destroy anything. But Issei was still alive, completely unfazed by this attack. Sirzex started panicking, because no one should be able to survive that attack. Even Orpheus would have trouble defending the likes of the Destruction Ball. I'm done playing with you, Lucifer. In fact, I'm going to end this right now. Welch Dragon, Annihilation Balance Breaker. What? What is that form? Black armor? Black mask? No, it can't be. There's no way. That dragon is ancient. It should not exist. Saying any more words, Issei flies towards Sirzex and uppercuts him in the face, sending him flying into the ceiling and then crashing down into the ground. Sirzex could barely stand up. Some of his ribs were definitely broken from the first attack that Issei did. Now, Lucifer, you will die! Before anything else could happen, Michael finally decided to intervene and said, Issei, as the holder of peace, I will not allow you to kill Sirzex. Issei, without even acknowledging Michael's existence, punches Michael in the face and sends him flying into the wall. Before anybody could do anything else, Issei looks at Sirzex, picks him up by the head, and crushes his skull without a second thought. If you guys didn't already know, this is part 4 of what if Issei was betrayed and trapped in the dimensional gap. Anyways, let's get back to the story. The story continues, with everybody in shock that Issei just killed the leader of the underworld, Sirzex, Lucifer. None other than Michael, the Archangel of Heaven, was the first to take action and immediately teleported away with all of his allies to fled the premises because Issei was clearly too dangerous. Of course, the governor of the fallen angels, Azazel, would soon follow up as well by creating a transportation circle and getting out of there as fast as he could because he knew that Issei Hyodo would kill them all. Lord Odin, the Norse god, didn't move much and has not said a word the whole entire time. Odin was thinking in his head that Loki was supposed to be the party crasher, but this boy was instead. Issei, in the middle of the room, was just looking into the air. His mind was empty, and he felt as strong as ever. Boom! Then a sudden transportation circle appears, and it catches the attention of Lord Odin immediately. It was none other than Hades himself, the ruler of the realm of the dead. Hades didn't even look at Odin, and immediately started talking to Issei, filled with anger. I sensed a power that was banished many years ago. The gods decided that any person with this power would have to answer to us. A mortal should not wield 3 dragons, but you also killed Sirzex, who I strongly disliked. I will give you a chance, mortal. Join me and we will rule the world, or perish with the rest of your mortal friends. Issei doesn't even say a word to Hades. Issei turns around and looks at Hades with a cold stare. A stare that would frighten even the strongest of gods. A stare that was voidless of emotion. Hades got shivers down his spine from seeing the way the boy looked at him with such anger. But then Hades quickly reacted and said once again, Listen to me now. It's either you stop this madness or you start a war with every single god in existence. This is my final warning, child. Before responding, Issei was thinking to himself. Issei heard about Hades from Great Red before. Apparently, he is one of the top 10 strongest beings in the entire universe. Issei knows that if he kills Hades, he will send a message to all the other gods that he is not one to be trifled with. Hades interrupts Issei's thinking and says, I have allied myself with all the most powerful gods, mortal, even one being the likes of the almighty Zeus. You even dare challenge me or kill me, the gods will have your head! Ha! So you're saying if I kill you, I start the next world war. Maybe you should leave before I actually decide to kill you. The last thing I would do is ally myself with a scum only wanting to rule over the world. You dare threaten a god. You will suffer for this, child. I gave you a chance and you didn't even take it. I'm going to kill you myself. My existence is a sin, huh? How amusing. It seems to me like all of you gods are threatened by me. Why is that? Enough talk. I am going to kill you and everybody you love soon after. You'll die before you even get a chance to touch them. With enough words being said between the two, the fight finally commences. Hades fires multiple blasts at Issei, but Issei easily dodges the blast with relative ease. I'll give you credit, mortal. That's good, but not good enough. Hades then charges at Issei and punches him in the face, sending him flying into the ground. Issei immediately stands back up and says, Forbidden balance breaker! Issei then charges at Hades and attempts to hit him, but Hades dodges the attack and sends Issei flying back down onto the ground with a straight dropkick to the head. Hades starts talking and says, "You're going to have to do better than that if you're going to defeat me, mortal. In fact, I've made my decision. As soon as I'm done with you, I will go to your parents' house and show them your dead body, and then I'll kill them as well." With hearing those very words, Issei finally reached his breaking point and started to say, "Leave my family out of this! Why should they have to die for some pieces of shit's entertainment?" And just like that, one of the limiters that Bahamut placed on Issei began to snap. The ground started to shake, and lightning was coming from the sky. Issei's anger started to affect the whole entire galaxy, in fact shaking it. Bahamut, Drake, and Albion were finally able to get through to their partner, after being blocked for some reason ever since Hades arrived on the battlefield. Bahamut immediately starts saying to his partner, "Listen, partner, if you break this limiter, it will combine me and Albion's power. You cannot handle this power yet. Don't do it, partner, don't!" Hades was watching in awe as the boy transformed into something that he would fear even more than death itself. Issei could not hear his dragons at all, and his mind was in complete rage. He was so sick of the bullshit, from being betrayed to having his parents threatened to be murdered. Issei finally lost his shit. Issei then says the forbidden words, "Welt's Dragon, Obliteration Breaker!" Then, in a flash, Issei appears in white and black armor. His aura was so immense that even Michael could feel it up in heaven. His presence in this form changed the weather and caused every tectonic plate on Earth to move. Issei looked up at his opponent Hades and teleported right behind him. Hades could no longer keep track of Issei's speed in this weird form that he was in. Issei, with one single punch to the back, sent Hades flying down to the ground. As Hades hit the ground, it created a massive crater where Hades landed. Hades' entire body was broken to pieces as he was trying to stand, and then he starts speaking. "If you kill me, my brother Zeus and his allies will come for your head, as well as every other god I was allied with, mortal." Issei, of course, was extremely unstable and didn't hear a single word that Hades was saying to him. Hades took advantage of this and started to form a huge energy ball to fire at Issei, but before he could, Issei would appear in front of his face and immediately started using divine dividing. Hades was drained of so much power already that he could barely even move, and this made it 10 times worse. Hades was about to speak up again, but before he could even speak one word, Issei was clearly too unstable for communication. Before anything else, Issei formed a ball of annihilation and killed Hades in one blow. And just like that, Issei now killed 2 gods. And that is where we're going to end off for now with this series. It's fully edited with pictures, sounds, effects, music, and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed so much. Like, I cannot thank you enough for all the amazing support that's been going on during this channel that I've been away. I've basically taken like a 2-week break now. I apologize. I had many things, many personal problems that I had to handle. So I do apologize for something like that. I won't get into it, but just know that I'm actually still going through it. So just be prepared if I ever not upload for 13 days again, that this is why. So I just wanted to let you know, like, college and things, life's taken over. But thank you so much for the support, man. I really can't thank you enough. What If Goku Was in High School DxD will be coming out soon. That is a decision that I finally came to a conclusion that I wanted to do. I really hope you guys like all these images and things like that. Like, it did this took me forever. I just like tapped my mic off for a second, but this took me forever to do, and I cannot tell you how long it took me to do. So please hit the subscribe and like button, please. And go subscribe to my other second channels, which is Palpowski and Fallen DxD down in the description below. I've been killing it on there for real. As well as my TikTok, it now has 20,000 followers. So Palpowski has 20,000 subscribers. So all across the board, I almost have like 100K in general, which is really cool to think about. So yeah, I mean 20K, 40K. I mean, plus this 30K is like 70,000 subscribers in realistic, but followers really don't count. So yeah, whatever. But thank you so much for the support, man. I really cannot thank you guys enough. This has been one heck of a ride. or at least these parts have. It's been so fun to make. The images take a really long time, and your boy just kind of learned how to edit like that. So if I ever want to do this again, it will be a little bit. But without further ado, I would really like to thank my balance breakers: Rob the King, Lachlan Yates, Atomic Warlord 58, Ant Lewis, Call Me MK, Joe Baldwin, Frostbite 024, Refeek 135, Zapper 363, Keep Saying 21, Luis Bermudez, $5 Sake, Fearwolf #2347, Sanitates, Night Ammo, Zeki 2000, The J Boys, The PS Gamer, X or X108, Mr. Wolf, Jordan Patchow, Mazuku, Dr. _MLG_ is the bomb, Asamoto, Scrim Fireshot Gamer, That Round Guy, Zero Fusion, Source Bonder, and Chaotic Raven. If you guys want to know exactly when I upload or my upload schedule, click the little blue button right next to the subscribe button to become a channel member today. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you for all my balance breakers who stuck with me, even though your boy wasn't uploading as often as he used to. But I suffered a little bit of depression, so I had to do some things. But anyway, yeah, I mean, thanks guys for the support, and like without any further ado, man, just remember, yeah, no, seriously, thank you guys for all the support, man. Without further ado, Spartanic ArtzDxD out.